Hey guys, it's Shadow. Today I'm going to guide you through how to do an Archers into Scouts build. Why Archers into Scouts? The natural response for most opponents during Feudal Age to Archers is of course going to be making skirmishers, and this build makes it relatively easy to clean up those skirmishers. One of the main aims of this build is to have early Archer numbers in your opponent's base, prompting a faster response with skirmishers and making your Scouts investment pay off as much as possible. We're going to do this build order with Saracens, as they have no economy bonus for the build, unless you abuse the market of course. Build 2 houses, then send the first 6 villagers to sheep. Send the next 3 villagers to wood. Lure the boar with the next villager. Send the next villager to boar. Villager 12 will build 2 houses, then head to berries. Villager 13 will build a mill. The next 2 villagers will go to berries. Lure the second boar when the first boar has about 175 food remaining on it. Villagers 16 and 17 go to the food underneath the town centre. When the boar expires, take 2 sheep at once of 10 villagers underneath the TC, split into equal groups. The next 2 villagers go to your existing wood line. Villager 20 will build a lumber camp on a new wood line. Click loom, then click up to the Feudal Age. Once the 2 sheep have expired, send 4 villagers to the second wood line, 2 villagers to a straggler tree, 3 villagers to gold, and 1 to build a barracks and a house. The 2 sheep remaining should be kept alive for Feudal Age. As soon as you reach Feudal Age, drop a range of 2 villagers and start to build a blacksmith shortly after with one of them. The villagers taking a straggler should now begin to take sheep again, and send the next 3 villagers to take sheep as well. Get double bet axe and horse collar when you can afford them without idling production, and start producing archers. During the entirety of Feudal Age, I kept 1 villager walling to somewhat simulate a standard game. Once you have 5 villagers underneath the TC, send a 4th to gold and start seeding farms every 60 wood until you have 8 farms. New villagers should collect from sheep until they run out, and then straggler trees whilst you're waiting to seed farms. You should be able to have at least 4 archers out and get fletching by no later than 13 minutes, and if you're against scouts, it's important to add a spear or 2 before moving out. Assuming your opponent is now adding skirmishers, you should be able to drop a stable once you have those 8 farms up, and villagers produced for the moment need to go to straggler trees. Produce 2 to 3 scouts or as many as needed. Seed 3 more farms of villagers underneath the TC, then add 1 additional villager to gold. Get to 18 farms in total, then send 1 additional villager to a woodline and 2 to gold. Get wheelbarrow before clicking up to Castle Age at 39 villagers. I did get housed, so I got a tad earlier. The perfect click up time for this part of the build is 1850, giving you a Castle Age time of 2130. I had about 20 seconds of idle time throughout this entire build, so I would have been up at 2150. On your way up to Castle Age, don't forget to grab the gold mining upgrade and balance your economy as needed. This build can lend itself well to cavalry, archers, or even a mixture of knights and crossbows, etc. And which unit you will most likely go for depends on your civ and civ matchup. A few examples I will provide though. For double saber knights and adding 2 Cs, the eco balance of 12 on wood, 18 on food and 9 on gold is good on the way up. For 2 ranged crossbows and adding 2 TCs, I recommend abandoning a couple of farms and going for 14 on wood, 16 on food and 9 on gold. And for 3 ranged CA with ballistics, I recommend going for about 16 on wood, 11 on food and 12 on gold. These totals will be minus any walling or building villages of course. Civilizations that I generally like doing this build on suit many castle age openings and have a scalable economy bonus. 3 in particular would be Huns, Vietnamese and Mayans. But realistically, any non-Meso civ can do this build. I believe this opening is particularly good against man-at-arms builds. This is because those initial archers can clean up the man-at-arms without over-investing into archers if you do not want to go into them for too long. The aim with this build is to get fletching in those initial numbers out quickly enough that it causes your opponent to go into skirms initially so that your scouts can get good value. Whilst it is not needed for this build, if you have the ability to push 1 deer, I highly recommend it so that fletching is far more affordable. I hope that you found this video useful. If you did, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to keep up to date with the rest of my videos. Thanks for watching.